So who was the greatest character in the final season part 2?
Shut up and sit down.
Yo, what's good, it's your boy, Reviews, and heavy spoilers regarding the final season part 2 of Attack on Titan. You've been warned. There's no question about that. A lot of the main cast, including some of the side characters and some of the villains, did have some really compelling and interesting story arcs. So without further ado, let's rank the top 10 greatest characters of Attack on Titan in the final season part 2. Number 10, Magath. I love how, despite him being a Mali general, he runs and hugs Gabi and he's really concerned about her. And even though he has that really intense argument with Jean in the campfire scene about who's in the right or wrong, he starts realizing that he doesn't want the kids having the same mindset that he and the rest of the Mali people have. I loved how, despite him feeling really mixed about working with the Eldians on Paradise Island, he bows to Jean and the rest of the scouts to try and turn a blind eye when they try and kill the Yeagerists. And then you have the emotional scene with Sadis and Magath just wanting, at the end of the day, to have all his Eldian kids to have bright, happy futures. Number 9, Ymir Fritz. This girl had an unfortunate life. Her village being burnt down, her tongue being removed, being bound to serve the king. She ends up being hunted down like an animal after she lets out pigs. And despite getting godlike powers, she still chooses to serve the king and even sacrifices herself to save him, despite him being bloody rotten. And for 2,000 years, being a slave to the Titan powers and to serve anyone with royal blood. And then Eren frees her, saying that she's not a slave and she can make her own choice. And her tears as she's welling up, all that pain, heartache, anger and frustration just comes pouring out. Number 8, Sadis. From bystander to a pretty damn amazing hero. Even despite getting beaten up by those Yeagerists, he still went above and beyond the call of duty to protect them, helping the Alliance escape and try and stop the rumbling. What makes Keith's death so heartbreaking is that I don't think anyone would know that he had a major part to play in bombing that ship up. Number 7, Annie. Annie in the first season was this ruthless, heartless, cold-blooded killer. We got a little bit of her character in that OVA, but final season part 2 we finally got to see more of her backstory, how she's so determined to go back to her father and see him, how she's even quite sick and tired of all this fighting. I love how she always singles out Mikasa on whether Mikasa has the guts to kill Eren or not, as she knows that if she doesn't have the guts, then she and Annie are gonna have to fight, and Annie is just done with fighting. Number 6, Connie. Connie in the first 3 seasons was this very goofy comedic relief character, but when Sasha died, that part of him, that comedic relief, just died with Sasha, and he's just been really miserable and just so angry all the time. Him shouting at Onion Kapana and being frustrated that Eren is betraying them. He's just done with everything. Him so desperate to try and save his mom and literally willing to sacrifice a little boy just to bring her back. Then how Connie and Armin have that one-to-one where Connie at the end of the day just wants to be a hero his mom can be proud of. And then that intense confrontation with Samuel and Daz, how he has to kill them in order to save Armin and to save the entire world, and how he finally understands what Bertolt meant. He's literally becoming like Reiner and Bertolt. Number 5, Floch. Even though Floch's methods are ruthless, everything he's doing is for the protection and safety of the people of Paradise. You just can't help but really root for him in certain times when he's just so passionate and really determined to just fight, and his battle against Hanji and him just about to blow the ship up, all of it just culminates into that one moment of him being shot by Gabi. Number 4, Jean. Just seeing how far this guy has come from season 1 is just remarkable. He's probably the only character whose character arc is the most consistent. Him being the only one to call out Eren, saying that Eren is a suicidal maniac who will drag everyone down into hell. What I like about Jean is how he's the only character who sees the world for what it is. How Hanji, Armin and the rest of the Survey Corps are so eager to stop Eren, but he's seeing things through a realistic point of view. They spent years trying to make change and look where it's gotten them. Him being so mad at Magath on the fact that if Mali had never invaded Paradise Island, Eren would not be doing what he's doing right now. Finally understanding what happened to Marco and just being so frustrated at the whole situation and angry at Reiner not being able to forgive him, and just him being a leader as he's leading the Survey Corps and some of the Yeagerists to try and defeat the Pure Titans. This dude had a lot of really cool moments. Number 3, Gabi Brown. Gabi Brown has such a huge character 180 in this second half. How she started off as this racist Eldian devil just hating anyone who was on Paradise Island, to finally understanding that They're just people, and what they're doing is the same thing that's happening again and again, and it's going to continue to happen again and again. She going out of her way to risk her life to save Kaya, having that really important closure that they needed. And I plead to Jean on wanting him to help her and the rest of Mali to stop the rumbling. Number 2, Zeke Yeager. Zeke Yeager throughout most of the story absolutely despised Grisha, his father. Him believing that if he shows Eren Grisha's past, that he's finally going to have a change of heart and come around to Zeke's plan. But in reality, Zeke was the one who had a change of heart of Grisha and realized that he isn't such a bad guy after all, and that Eren was a bit of a bad boy all along. I love how he had that little closure with Grisha. Now for honorable mentions. Hanji. I love her little speech to Jean saying that despite the rumbling benefiting Paradise Island, she is not so sure that all the scouts who died before season 4 would think that as long as only Paradise Island is alive and healthy, that's going to be the best for all of humanity. Reiner. I love how he opened up more about what he was thinking and feeling during the time of him killing Marco. Grisha Yeager. His breakdown to Zeke was just absolutely heart-wrenching, and seeing more of his past was really interesting. Levi. Because he's Levi. Enough said. But coming at number 1 and the greatest character of Attack on Titan the final season part 2 is Louise. Louise has such an emotional, in-depth and huge character arc in this story. Just kidding. The real number 1 is Eren Yeager. Of course, this boy is going to be number 1. I mean, this guy has just so many really impactful, intense moments. Even though we don't really know what he's thinking and feeling, just everything revolving around this character is just so interesting. Eren has become the basement of the final season part 2. What's inside Eren Yeager bomb? The huge twist that Eren manipulated Grisha into killing the royal family and seeing memories of the future from way back at the end of season 3 was just mind-blowing. I still can't wrap my head around that. It really threw me through a loop. Just how he's the first and only person to truly acknowledge Ymir as not a god, not a devil, but just a person. The fact that he gives her a choice to grant Eren her power or not just shows you how caring this boy is, despite him doing the rumble. Him tearing up looking at Ramsay and his family, knowing what's going to happen to them in the future. It just shows you that he isn't this cold, brooding killer of a man that all of Reddit claims him to be. All he ever wanted to do was do the right thing. He never wanted to be the king. And that's why Eren is my top 1 favorite character of the final season part 1. But tell me in the comments down below what you guys follow this ranking. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Who's your favorite character of the final season part 1 and part 2? Tell me. Like this video, subscribe for more Attack on Titan reactions, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings and more. But thank you for watching and stay tuned as I'll start doing a TV versus Blu-ray comparisons. But thank you for watching, and as always, a bold review signing out.